Welcome back to my channel. So today's episode is how to use your fingers versus a punch. How to do thrusting that gives you more power than punching. All right, so here goes the concept of using a finger jab versus punching. So when to use your finger jabs versus punching. And you have a lot of people who tells you that every time when you get into a fight, always clench your fists together in order for you to protect your fingers and not have it to be broken. But I beg to differ, and the reason being is because when your fingers are open, you actually have more control. And for example, let's say if I'm getting into a fight with someone like Rob, who's much bigger than I am, right? If he's punching me and I'm closing my hand to block, it's gonna be very hard because now I'm really tightening my arm, right? So you want to be loose and just par with him, right? Pairing. And you just want to just jab like this, right? And if he goes to the other side, same thing. You move to the side and you just pair like that. If it goes again, you just go like that, right? But psychologically, every time when someone punches you, right? When you go in with the finger, psychologically, that scares him. Because why? You're going towards his eyeballs. Or you're going toward anywhere in his face, right? Because any portion that you hit on his face, it's just gonna hurt. And it hurts in a weird way versus teaching someone to thrust in the body. Thrust in the body is different, but when you thrust your finger right to his face, he's gonna feel more of the impact, right? And at the same time, it makes him think, it makes him have this reaction that, okay, what am I supposed to do next, okay? So that's number one, is he's coming open. You see how I block, but I'm also thrusting to his face. And my protecting hand's also up here. If he punches the other one, I just go thrust, same thing, okay? Now, here goes another advantage of using your fingers. Okay, so if he punches the other one, see how I thrust in like this? Keeping an open finger, it helps you to engage your muscle here in your forearm. If you close it like that, it doesn't engage as much versus open your fingers, right? Now, having this muscle open, it provides control to this arm that you can push down. See that? So if he goes and you thrust him this way, you push down. But don't do it so unrealistic that it goes like this, here and push down. Your arm cannot be stronger than your opponent, right? In order for you to push down, you have to go in and push down, right? Use your body as the weight and the momentum to take him off balance, okay? Otherwise, if you just stand like this and then you push down, he's gonna punch you in that one, right? So once you feel this way, you go in right away, okay? You go in and you take off his balance. Okay, now, so let's say if he punches that hand, see? Also, the reason why I'm using this example of him always punching to my face, because 99.9% of the time, your opponent will always punch toward your face. Very rare that they want to go neck and below, okay? So this is a good example to practice, right? And practice your opponent punching toward your face, and then use this application to thrust. So let's say if he punched the other one, back there in the beginning, I was moving backwards and also doing that, right? But now you want to use your open fingers. As soon as you block, you want to go forward, okay? So if he's punching in here, now, because I am in this position, so instead of moving backwards, if he hits with the other hand, because this hand, you know, he's not going to be able to hit anymore, right? He hits with the other hand, I just thrust in right away to his face. You see that, right? So I can go, bam, bam, right through his throat. There's no reason why you should go back unless you just want to be defensive, right? Defensive, then you go back. But if you want to be offensive, in a real fight, it's only one block, right? That's all you need. It's only one block. You go one block up, bam, thrust right away, right? And go, bam, thrust right away. You just want to shoot him right away, okay? Versus come and then punch, okay? Every time when you clench your fists together, it's a different concept, right? You're just making your arm heavier, stronger, for a different purpose, if you want to knock him out, okay? It's used for a different purpose. So today's focus is how to use the finger jabs, right? How to thrust into his face. Okay, so now I'm going to go over certain applications based on different katas in the Matsubayashi version, right? For example, you have Pinanyana, where you start out the kata this way, from yoi this way, and then that way, okay? So same thing, if he's punching you, right, you wanna go like that. You see how I go block like this? But this open hand here is not just for blocking. This open hand is basically, I don't know where he's punching me, I'm raising both hands because he can go on the other side, right? He can punch the other side, and it goes like this, see that? And then you block here, okay? So when you put two hands up, it doesn't mean you're blocking two hands simultaneously. It just means that, hey, I don't know where he's punching, therefore I'm just guessing, right? Blocking is a guessing game because I don't know what his intention is. All I know is that he's gonna knock me out, okay? And because he's gonna knock me out, I have two hands, I'm gonna utilize both, right? So let's say if I got lucky, he punched with his right, oh, I got blocked. If he punched with his left, oh, I got blocked. See, I'm blocking him. You see that? Either way. But the most important thing is what do you do after you block? So let's say if he goes this side here, I go this way, right? And then next one is same. So right, poke right into the face, right? Or under the chin, poke right under the eye. And the other hand, same thing, right? Let's say this way here, then you poke under the chin, same thing. Oh, you poke right under the eye, okay? So that's where open hands comes in, okay? How do you practice having your thrust strong? Every time when you open your fingers, learn to squeeze and feel the muscles contracting, okay? Do 10, 15 of these, a really hard squeeze and really strong opening, and then you're gonna feel the expansion of this muscles right here. Do it until you fatigue, and then do 3 sets of those, okay? Do on both arms, and you're gonna feel the strength, and it's gonna improve on your thrusting skills. Okay, so the other application is in Pasai, right? Pasai, one of the techniques that makes Pasai stands out is this one. Thrust, thrust, turn, thrust, thrust, right? Turn, thrust, thrust, and then you do 4 of those, okay? So in our style, we actually, come Robbie. So if he's punching here, right, we thrust this way. And then we, remember what I said earlier, is always move forward. So from here we push forward, and then we thrust underneath, right? So if he's punching, thrust, pull forward underneath, okay? So we go 1, 2, okay? In Matsubayashi, they interpret a different way. They do this way, they do chop, right? And then chop. So he's punching, they go chop, right? Chop, right? We go chop, chop. If that's how you practice and that's how you interpret these moves, it's perfectly fine, except that it's not as practical, right? When you are going full force, when you chop, that means you're going full force, right? That means you know what she's gonna do. In a real fighting scenario, you don't know what your opponent is gonna do. So it's better to always keep within the line, right? So if your opponent hits you, you always go to the line. See that? He's coming, you go to the line. Because if he's coming and you do this, that means you know what he's doing for you to intentionally break him. Don't practice that way, because if you do, then now it's like you're predicting moves, right? You wanna practice in a way that you can have that reflex, that if you are going to be in a situation where you have to fight one day, you just want to react, right? You want to react based on your body, based on the line concept, right? Hey, it doesn't matter what my opponent is about to do to me, I am going to intercept the line and I'm going to take him down. All right, so that is for today's video, is how to practice your finger jab versus the punching. And watch these videos and see you in the next one.